Hmm. Weird. What's this? Oh yeah, we gotta talk about this now. Nah, I'm just playing. What is going on, guys? So, if you guys have probably heard, if you're a sports fan, you've probably heard. If you're an NBA fan, you probably heard "Damn" straight from Shams in like the first 3 minutes. And if you probably don't know, well, you're gonna know because the title is literally what we're about to talk about. Kevin Durant, a 16-time or 17-time All-Star for formerly for the Phoenix Suns, has now been traded to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, their lottery draft pick, and 5 second-round picks. Now we're going to be going over the pros and the cons for each team and see who can probably contend better and who got the better of the trade. So, the Houston Rockets definitely got a good bet out of this. They got Kevin Durant, who's still putting up pretty good numbers lately. Yes, he's 37 or 36, I'm pretty sure, but he can still put up those all-star numbers, and he's still playing at a high elite level. But one thing that they did not, that I don't think a lot of people were gonna expect, was them trading away Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks, he had committed to the Houston Rockets, so it definitely made things a little bit weird. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought of this as well. Jalen Green. Now, we all know that during the season, he was performing incredible. But one thing that he was also missing was his efficiency. And his efficiency is what caused a lot of problems for him and his team during the playoffs against the Warriors. And that's probably one of the bigger reasons as to why Jalen Green was traded. He only had, I think he had 2 games where he had double digits, maybe 3, but a lot of the games he only scored 8 or 7 points. And looking at that, that's bad. But again, you also have to give him a little bit of slack because he's only like 23, something like that, 23, 22, 24, something like that. And you gotta give him some slack. But again, you can't really as well because Cade Cunningham, who was also in the same draft as him, was playing at a much better. He was playing a lot better during the playoffs against the Knicks, and after watching that, after looking at the stats, a lot of my friends and me myself, a lot of people on the network and the media, online, social media, etc., expected that Jalen Green was going to get traded. So it really wasn't that big of a surprise seeing Jalen Green go. But again, it kind of was because he was kind of the person they were kind of building around, and to see I'm pretty sure second or first option just go away, get traded to the Phoenix Suns is definitely kind of bad for them. But again, after looking at the playoffs, and you got to ask yourself as well, can Jalen Green really stand up to the pressure? And I'm pretty sure they looked at each other, or the front office looked at each other and said, I don't think he can. So that's why they probably traded him. But, that's pretty cool that they got Kevin Durant, but their draft picks are what can cause a huge problem as well. Now, the first draft pick that they had, which was the 10th pick, with their lottery draft pick, the 10th pick, that was probably going to need to come into play for this entire trade, but they gave away 5 second-round picks. Now, second-round picks may not look good because, again, it's the second round. It's not the first round, but again, second round is still not that bad because we've seen a lot of star players who were in the second round become pretty good stars. Like, I'm pretty sure Dennis Rodman was the second round. He was either undrafted or second rounder. I'm not sure, but there are a couple people out there that have been in the second round and have turned into stars. And I'm pretty sure a lot of them turned out to be all-stars. So giving away 5 second round picks is definitely kind of a bummer for them, but probably not for the Phoenix Suns, because they essentially just got back. They got like 3/4 of what they gave the Nets for Kevin Durant. And now looking at the Phoenix Suns, so they got their draft picks, they got the 2 players. Now, how the hell are they going to be working together? So Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Nick Richards, and Bradley Beal. I forget who they're set. I think they still have Bol Bol. How are they going to work around the rotation, right? So that's definitely going to be a question that the Phoenix Suns are going to need to be asking themselves. And, mainly I'm pretty sure, well, looking at it right now, Phoenix Suns have a chance at making the playoffs again, no doubt about it. But what's their situation going to look like, right? But because Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, they can both play really good defense. However, a lot of their other players are sort of iffy in that sort of situation. And one thing they got to figure out as well is what the hell are they going to do with Bradley Beal? Now, Bradley Beal has been in weird conversations how the Phoenix Suns are trying to get rid of him, I'm pretty sure, and no one's willing to accept it because, well, it's Bradley Beal. He hasn't been performing at the all-star level that he should be performing at. And, that's within good reason as well why teams don't want him, and that's why Phoenix doesn't want him anymore. The best thing that they can do is just waive him, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to do that because, again, they still need someone who can help out. But, they also need to figure out, who's really going to be the number 1 option in this. A lot of people are probably going to be thinking, oh, it's going to be Devin Booker. But again, Jalen Green was a first option on the Houston Rockets for a good couple of seasons until Şengün came into play. And now looking at this, is Jalen Green going to be the first option? Or is Devin Booker going to be the first option? I would probably go with Devin Booker still being the first option. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. And right now, I'm not too familiar with the draft. So it's going to be interesting as to who the Phoenix Suns want to pick with their draft pick. So we're just going to need to wait and see for the draft. I'm pretty sure there's a couple players that are pretty good in the top 10 right now. And the top 10 is pretty good. When you look at it, the top 10 is still good. Because, again, it's the top 10 best players in the entire country, and you get to choose one of them, right? So, or even just worldwide. And looking at that, it's going to be interesting as to who they pick and how are they gonna kind of use that rookie in the rotation and all that. But looking at this now, so the starting lineup could also look like for the Houston Rockets is that it could look like Amen Thompson, Fred VanVleet, Kevin Durant, Alfred Şengün, and possibly Jabari Smith Jr. That would be my guess. And the starting lineup for the Phoenix Suns could look like Devin Booker, Jalen Green, I think Bol Bol if he's still on the team. And it could look like Dylan Brooks. And it could probably be Nick Richards as well. But who knows? We'll just have to wait and see until the 2025-2026 season is. That's my 2 cents for you. And, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.